Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes another matchup, but this time I'm steering away from the Intel Extreme Masters, the World Championship. I think I already done enough series, and based on the fact that there's like 99% of all the series from that event have been already covered with VODs from casters or even from the organization from ESL. I think it's time to move on, especially because I already have several matchups, several replay files set on the side that I wanted to take a look at. And well, I just sat down to take a look at this one. Hopefully it's going to be a nice matchup. It's taken from the GosuCoaching Premier League. It's a team event where players play best out of ones. It's a single match, so they need to just take it seriously and don't risk that much, in my opinion. And we're going to have a matchup here representing Team mouzMaNa from Poland, European player, very well known on the European community, and he plays quite a lot on the European tournament scene. He's a Brood War veteran and quite a good Protoss player. And well, he's going to be facing against the representative from TeamLiquid, HuK, the Canadian player that has been living in Korea. As you guys know, he's been trying his luck in the GSL on Code. Did fairly well. I mean, already had the victory, but he needs more. Obviously, he needs to evolve into a more solid player and be able to deal the pressure inside that soundproof booth. Hopefully we're going to hear more of him in the future. But like I mentioned, today they're facing here on the PvP, one of the most volatile matchups currently available on Starcraft 2. And as I was mentioning, being this a matchup that was played on the GosuCoaching Premier League, this means that it is a team event. You get one shot to represent your team. There's no best out of 3 or best out of 5. So based on that and based on the quality of these two Protoss players, I'm assuming they're not going to take any big chances and not get involved on really early pressure all-ins with trying to get their opponent by surprise, because that might hurt their team, and well, the end result might not be the best one, might not be the one that they're looking for. So I'm assuming that being a PvP, we're still going to have a cautious play style here, and they're going to try to make sure they have enough to counter and destroy their opponents. Keep in mind that on PvP, and I think I don't need to say much about this, but it's very micro dependent currently. Players try to focus a lot on their microing because there's a lot of confrontation early on the matchup, and you end up having like zealots and stalkers on small groups fighting against each other, and whoever has one more stalker or one more zealot gets the edge, and whoever has less lag or has more capability microing will take the final victory. And obviously I'm not expecting that, because usually that ends up on matchups with like 6-7 minutes long. I would like to see something longer. I am expecting something longer out of this match. So I'm gonna follow it and stop blabbering about it. You guys can tell me in the end if it was long enough or not. For now, as you can see, we have on Mana's base, he just went gateway to cybernetics core, getting the warp gate technology out as fast as possible, while one of the probes from Mana is finally heading back home, but it's gonna get caught by that Stalker and Zealot, probably gonna be sliced. Ooh, that was close. 2 hit points, how close was that? Oh, got destroyed. And now Mana's forces getting out of that ramp, trying to save the probe, but wasn't enough, was too late. And now we have a small battle here, micro fight once again, Stalker Zealot against Stalker Zealot. And taking a look here at HuK's base, he's already going for the 4 warp gate. Whoa, this was fairly quick. And now finally grabbing the second gas, a fairly late second gas there. While on Mana's side, oh, here comes the probe again. I think he's gonna get shot, yeah. Boom. There goes the probe. But like I was saying, let me take a look. Yeah, Mana apparently he is a bit late compared with HuK. He's getting 3 more gateways, so he'll be out of 4 gate play as well pretty soon. But the openings are diverging a little bit now here from what I can see. HuK already has his 4 gateways down and getting a robotics facility, while on Mana's side, apparently he's just saving to get an expo. He already has some units poking at this destructible debris, so I guess he's going to establish his natural expo faster than HuK, and HuK will have the advantage with the robotics facility, maybe to put out a couple of observers and take a look at his opponent's base. Will give him the edge and will give him the advantage later on in the game. For now, we just have 4 gates for Mana as well. He's droning out, getting as many as possible. Just a little bit ahead, 2 drones ahead. The income is still very, very close and similar. While on HuK's side, let me see. Robotics facility just finished. Will he be getting an observer out? I think he will, even chrono boosting it. So he's in a hurry to take a peek at his opponent's base. He knows that something is going on, and Mana, being a bit delayed on that warp gate count, he's just committing himself to a different opening and preparing the econ game, establishing a nice macro game for the future, being able to play out of 2 bases. There's the Nexus. While on HuK side, the robotics facility was finished, as you guys seen, and he put out 1 observer, and now getting the robotics base. So Colossi playing coming from HuK, still nothing close to it from Mana. This might tip the scale in the favor of HuK if a battle occurs in the next 5 minutes or so. HuK eventually will have some Colossi to back up his Zealot Stalker force, while Mana only has Stalkers and Zealots for now. So more tech for HuK, more economy for Mana, taking different approaches to this matchup. I wonder which one is gonna win. You know that these matchups are fairly difficult to follow, at least for me. They're not that easy to read. You basically have to have some skills at mind reading. Notice that Mana just went for the assimilator, the second gas, on his main base now, just very, very late, while HuK apparently is advancing with all of his forces, observer on top of the game, checking everything that goes on Mana's base, and is preparing a small siege here. There goes another probe down, instantly killed, with Mana spotting the forces that are close to his ramp, and HuK containing his opponent. HuK is aware that that expo is already going. Notice the pylon there. This pylon will allow HuK to warp in some units and make a surprise assault here on the back. I would say, as you can see, it has range. And meanwhile, incoming an advance once again. HuK trying to get visibility with that observer and shooting up that ramp from the low ground. Nice harass here by HuK. I wanted to take a look at HuK's base, but there's a lot going on. Incoming a small assault on the back of the natural expo from Mana, and he's assaulting on the main entry at the same time, as you can see, going up that ramp, once again force fielded, and now Mana pulling all his forces to the back, trying to fend off this assault, killing these 3 stalkers that, 3 zealots that advanced into the natural expo. More stalkers now getting warped in, and there's a big harass ensuing here. You guys obviously know that this spells troubles for Mana. Mana needs to warp in more units, finish off this assault. HuK trying to micro the best he can and kill as many of those probes as possible. 39 against 29. Notice how ahead HuK is now on the harvester count. Still HuK now playing out of 2 bases. Is going to be able to pull away on the econ game, and meanwhile he keeps maintaining this containment here on the main door, while Mana finishes off HuK's pylon and stops the harass there. HuK decided to pull back. I wanted to show this expo here by HuK. He didn't went for the one on the back with the rocks. He decided to go for the expansion on the front, still getting established with the gas, just finally getting finished 2 assimilators, pulling all of his forces back. And on the econ game now, because HuK killed that many harvesters, he's forcing Mana to work on his worker count, get more of those, and obviously he will have less of an army if he's working on his harvester count, while HuK is more stable on the econ game now, though he had an expo later on than Mana, and now getting a dark shrine there on the back. Ooh, this is gonna be very, very interesting. Notice that the robotics facility for Mana is just getting finished now. I'm trying to take a look at it. There it is. And now more gateways incoming. He already has 6 here with the one that is getting built, and the forces from Mana are advancing here. Incoming Zealots and Stalkers, facing against Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals, and there's some Dark Templars there. Whoa, nice force field play, trying to wall in those Dark Templars. As you can see, there was one of those Dark Templars knocking his head against those force fields. Now finally getting those Dark Templars on the front of the fray. Look at how fast they put down those Stalkers and Zealots. Brilliant play here by HuK, tipping the battle on his favor with this Dark Templar play. The DTs are just slicing and dicing through Mana's forces, and Mana doesn't have anything left, being forced to pull back with what's left of his forces, while the Dark Templars are preparing to advance into Mana's base. There was one already inside the base harassing, as you guys could see on the picture-in-picture window, and now incoming 4 DTs, knocking the door, the main door from Mana, trying to advance into that ramp, and now decided to make some Archons. He's not going to use them anymore. The Observer is here to spot them, so getting that strong, powerful Archon to help out with the damage. Force field play ensuing by Mana, containing the advance, making sure he's going to have enough to hold HuK's advancement here, and HuK once again pulling back. I think he's going to try to reinforce his army. There's a lot of gateways getting established here. Let's take a look at the main base. More gateways. Whoa, so many gateways getting established by HuK. He's just preparing to download, can I call it that? Or to stream a huge force into Mana soon enough. What does he have on this corner? He's a single Stalker. I was wondering if it would be any kind of proxy pylon. Mana working out of his 2 bases, fine for now. Things finally stabilized. He's not suffering any aggression from HuK, but apparently you're going to have another clash in the middle of the map with HuK getting the blink technology, blink tech for his Stalkers, while the Stalkers from Mana already have the blink. Here they come, trying to fight out. Nice micro by Mana, pulling the ones that are hurt to the back and grinding down, and like that ensuring that he has enough DPS to put down all the units from HuK. Keep in mind that HuK still has a more interesting unit composition here. He already had DTs, as you guys saw. Now he has Harkons backing up his army, and this shows on the battles. It's just tipping the scale in favor of HuK on this matchup. Now with the Mana just trying to apply the pressure, trying to get rid of HuK's forces, but it's still not enough. HuK once again, this time already with the blink tech rolling, trying to keep all of his Stalkers alive and pulling the hurt ones to the back. Mana doing the exact same thing, and they're actually having a big battle here on the middle of the map, but HuK has clearly more forces. Let's take a look at the army count. As you can see, currently 94 against 67, so HuK leading the way. Let's take a look at the unit composition. 12 Stalkers for HuK, 11, 10, well, they're getting grinded down, they're getting killed now, and HuK just pulling away, going to the complete opposite side from where all the action has been occurring. But 12 Stalkers for HuK now against 4 from Mana. Mana, his forces are just dwindling down slowly, and the more Mana gets held back and is not able to have a proper army, the more advantage HuK is getting and gaining, because as you can see, HuK is playing out of these 2 bases, getting a 3rd one already, so he's gonna keep pumping his econ game and make sure he has enough minerals to keep producing more and more units. And Mana is not doing so. Mana has been playing out of 2 bases for quite a while. His bases here, as you can see, the mineral field is getting almost exhausted on the main base. And this Expo, he's been worked for quite a while as well. So I guess that Mana will be working out of 1 single mineral line soon enough, while HuK will be working out of 2. This one is almost exhausted as well. But HuK advancing at the same time, promoting a containment right on the front of the main base from Mana. So forcing Mana to stay on 2 bases while he extends his work into a 3rd base. This obviously shows that HuK is having the advantage on this matchup. Notice the amount of units that he's already transferring, a lot of probes, a lot of workers getting moved there. Mana is trying to keep tabs on the movements from HuK. Got shot there, his observer. On his main base, meanwhile, finally the robotics base showing up, and external thermal lens getting researched by HuK. So they're going to be on a fairly even ground if Mana is able to finish that and put some Colossi out. But as you know, HuK is being ahead on the army count, and he is being ahead on the tech as well. He had this Expo done later than Mana, but Mana didn't benefit from that much, and HuK now has the technology advantage. He already has the robotics facility and robotics bay done for a while, and I think he should consider making a push while Mana doesn't have much of an army, much of a Colossi count, because this Colossi will favor HuK, will give him the benefit on any battle. And here he comes, trying to battle out on this massive clash here. Notice all the forces, so many zealots on the front line trying to kill each other, and with a lot of Stalkers being backed up by this single Colossus that it keeps grinding down and melting away all of those zealots. Mana had to GG out of the match, was just too powerful for him of an army. We were just looking at the army count, there was a huge difference here, and Mana just knew that he went too late for this expansion here, and with HuK working out of 3 bases and having a better income, he was able to get a stronger army faster and replenish his army, the units that he kept losing from his army, faster than his opponent. So well, we end up with Mana having to GG, and the final victory on this face-off was for TeamLiquid, was for HuK. So excellent play by HuK. I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. See you all later. Have fun.